The sky fell without warning. The sky broke open without a sound. One moment, it was peaceful above Earth's southern hemisphere. The next, massive alien ships punched through the clouds like falling mountains. They were jagged, black, and pulsing with blue energy. No warning came. No message. No signal, just chaos. People ran. Cities were wiped out in seconds. Power plants failed. Satellites stopped talking. The world went dark. In the middle of this destruction stood a man named Tom. He was a technician working deep inside a government research station hidden under a mountain. The ground above shook so hard that the lights flickered. Tom dropped his tools and ran to the main control room. "Status report," shouted Commander Ray, a tall man with tired eyes. "Satellite network is down," said Lisa, the communications officer. "No signals in or out. We are blind." "What about the defense grid?" Ray asked. "Half of it was taken out in the first strike," said another voice. "We still have the backup reactors powering this site, but for how long, no idea." Tom stared at the main screen. It showed blurred images of the alien craft, some crashing into Earth, others floating like ghosts. Fires spread across cities. There were flashes in the atmosphere. The alien fleet wasn't just attacking, they were terraforming. "The planet's air was changing. They don't want to just conquer us," Tom said quietly. "They are turning Earth into something else." The room fell silent. "They brought chaos," Ray said, his voice cold. "But we're not done." 2 weeks later, what remained of Earth's military had retreated underground. Cities were gone. Entire coastlines had vanished. The world above was unrecognizable. The aliens were still here, building strange towers, using human structures as raw material, reshaping nature itself, but humanity wasn't defeated. Inside the underground facility, Tom worked day and night with a small team. They weren't building weapons the old way. Missiles and guns wouldn't work. The aliens had strange armor that absorbed energy, strange shields that deflected plasma, but they left behind wreckage, bits of their ships, broken tech, scorched metal that still pulsed with strange energy. Tom called it the gift of ruin. "This is our chance," he told Lisa. "We don't understand their tech yet, but we can copy it. Combine it with our own. Use their chaos against them." "You really think we can make a weapon out of this junk?" she asked. "It's not junk. It's pieces of something more powerful than we've ever known. And we have nothing else." The team worked in silence. They melted, reshaped, and tested the alien remains. Their labs were full of strange sounds. Blue lights flickered from pieces that still lived. One shard even hummed when touched. Weeks passed. The team lost people. Some machines exploded. Radiation leaked. But they kept going. One night, something changed. Tom stood before a long black frame, half metal, half alien alloy. It looked like a cannon, but it pulsed like a heart. "It's ready," he whispered. "It's not just a weapon. It's a warning." Ray entered and stared at the thing. "What do you call it?" he asked. Tom smiled, eyes tired but proud. "Wrath." Wrath awakens deep under the Earth, far from the alien towers growing on the surface. Wrath came to life. Tom stood with his hand hovering above the control panel. The weapon was unlike anything Earth had ever seen. It wasn't just human or alien, it was both. The outer shell was made of alien plating, curved and cold. Inside, human circuits connected to strange energy cores that defied logic. They hadn't fully understood it. But they had tested it in secret, inside deep caves. When it fired, it didn't just blast a hole, it warped matter. It melted steel without heat. It shredded rocks into dust without sound. Tom pressed the activation key. The control room dimmed. As power drained into the machine, a low hum filled the chamber. "It's stable," Lisa said, watching the energy levels. "Still holding." Commander Ray stepped closer. "Can we aim it?" "Yes," Tom nodded. "And I've built a targeting system using what's left of our orbital sensors. I've chosen a target." He tapped the screen. A map appeared. At the center was one of the largest alien towers, located where a major city once stood. "They're using it as a command hub," Tom said. "If we hit it, we break their network." "Then let's strike," Ray said. Later that night, Wrath was moved to a hidden launch tunnel. The weapon was mounted on a reinforced rail system and aimed at the surface. It couldn't fly, but it didn't need to. It only needed to fire once. The team worked in silence. There was no cheering, no excitement. Just tension and hope. As the countdown began, Tom watched the alien sky from a hidden camera feed. The tower pulsed with eerie light, almost alive. 3, 2, 1. The ground shook, not from an alien attack, but from wrath. A beam of pure distortion erupted upward. It wasn't light or fire. It was something in between, something that made the camera glitch and the air ripple. The beam pierced the alien tower without resistance. For 1 second, nothing happened, then the entire tower twisted, groaned, and collapsed inward like a folding star. A deep blue shockwave rolled across the horizon, sending smaller structures toppling like toys. The feed cut to static. Tom held his breath. Lisa checked her screen. We did it. Their command signal is gone. Ray looked at the young engineer with a strange expression. You just made Earth's first alien weapon, he said. Tom didn't smile. It's not enough. Not yet. Above ground, the aliens noticed. Their towers stopped growing. Their drones froze mid-flight. Across the planet, their machines paused, as if confused, then they began to move again, only this time, they moved toward the place where the tower had fallen. They know where the shot came from, Lisa said. They are searching for us. We won't stay hidden for long, Ray replied. We need more weapons. Tom's eyes were already back on his console. I'll build them. But I need more wreckage. More alien tech. Ray nodded. Then we send a team to the surface. Find the nearest crash site. Bring back everything. On the surface, the world above was a nightmare. Ashes, fire, and strange growths covered the land. Twisted metal and glowing fragments lay scattered near the ruins of alien ships. A small human team moved through the dark in armored suits. They collected pieces, scanned for life, and avoided patrol drones. Among them was a woman named Kara. Quiet, focused, and fast. She found something the others missed, an alien control core still active, humming faintly. This could power 5 more weapons, she whispered, but before she could secure it, a shape moved in the mist. A tall alien, covered in armor that shimmered like oil, stepped into view. It made no sound. Kara raised her rifle, but it didn't fire fast enough. A blast struck her chest and sent her flying. As the others rushed to help her, the alien bent to take the core. Suddenly, it stopped. A second human had stepped out of the shadows. He carried no rifle, just a strange device glowing with blue veins. Tom's voice crackled over the comm. Let's see what happens when you taste your own chaos. He activated the device. First contact, second death. The alien turned its head slowly toward the blue glowing device in the human's hand. Its armor shimmered like liquid. Its claws opened wide, preparing to strike, but Tom didn't flinch. He pressed a button on the device. For half a second, everything froze, then the air cracked with a sudden pulse. The device unleashed a wave of distortion, similar to the Roth weapon, but smaller, contained. The alien shrieked. Its body twisted unnaturally, armor plates bending inward. It dropped the control core and staggered back, collapsing into itself. With a strange metallic crunch, silence followed. The humans stood frozen, unsure if it was over. Kara groaned from the ground, still breathing. The others rushed to her side. Tom walked up to the alien corpse. It no longer looked powerful, just a broken frame of something once deadly. It worked, he said quietly. What was that thing? Asked one of the soldiers. Something new, Tom replied. I call it the Echo. Back underground. Back at the mountain facility, Commander Ray stared at the wrecked core Kara had recovered. This could power another Roth unit, said Lisa, examining it. Maybe 2. Tom dropped the Echo device on the table, and that was just a field test. If we can build more, we might be able to hit their patrols before they reach us. Ray nodded. We've started something they didn't expect. We are turning the wreckage into weapons. But they'll adapt, Lisa warned. They always do. I know, Tom said. But so do we. Alien command tower orbiting. Mothership far above Earth's poison skies, one of the alien command ships hovered in low orbit. Inside, a gathering of tall, cold figures stood in a circle. Their faces were hidden by reflective masks. They spoke not with words, but with signals, flashes of color and pulses of thought. A new signal appeared on their screen: distorted energy, unnatural movement. Human-made. Hybrid technology. Dangerous, source, Earth surface. Region 7. Response. Immediate purge. They summoned a new class of hunter drones, faster, stronger, immune to most Earth weapons. Their mission was clear: locate the human source of the Echo tech. Eliminate it. Burn everything inside the human base. The team had grown. Survivors from other regions had joined them: engineers, medics, soldiers. They worked around the clock. Tom oversaw construction of a second Roth cannon while Kara, now recovered, trained the soldiers to use modified alien gear. Armor pieces were reshaped, helmets rebuilt, plasma shards turned into blade edges. What we are doing here, she said, isn't just survival. It's payback. She wasn't wrong. Earth had been brought to its knees. But in the shadows, a new kind of war was starting. One built on desperation, rage, and stolen technology. The storm approaches. Alarm screamed. Multiple contacts, fast. Movers, closing in, shouted a guard from the wall monitors. Tom looked at the screen. They found us. Dozens of hunter drones descended from the clouds. They weren't like the old ones. These moved like shadows, fast and silent. They were here to erase. Ray didn't hesitate. Activate all defense lines. Prepare Roth. Kara, take your team to the perimeter. Outside, lightning flashed. The sky turned purple with unnatural energy. Inside, Roth powered up. Tom stood before it again. This isn't just a weapon anymore. This is Earth's voice. And then the drones hit the mountain. Blades clashed. Bullets flew. Lights failed. And Roth screamed once more. The battle beneath the mountain. The first drone tore through the entrance gate like it was paper. Its form was sleek, with rotating blades for arms and a mask that glowed red. Before the human guards could react, it was already inside, but they were ready. Kara stepped into its path and launched a modified plasma spear straight at its head. The spearhead exploded and sent the drone crashing into the wall. It sparked, twitched, and lay still. That's one, she growled. More followed. The mountain base shook as hunter drones descended in waves. Some crawled through tunnels, others drilled from above. Their mission was simple: destroy everything. Tom stood inside the core chamber with Lisa, watching the main power levels. Roth was charging again, but it needed a few more minutes. If they reach this room, we lose everything, Lisa said, holding a plasma pistol. They won't, Tom replied. They can't. On the front line, Kara moved fast. Her armor, patched together from alien pieces, allowed her to sprint faster than ever before. Her squad followed behind, using weapons forged from wreckage: plasma blades, electric shotguns, shielded suits. Each drone they killed gave them more material to rebuild, but it wasn't easy. The new hunter drones were smarter. They dodged, they coordinated, and they aimed for weak points. A blast struck one of Kara's teammates, sending him flying. She yelled, rolled under a drone's blade, and stabbed upward with a crackling spike. More explosions rocked the hallways. Commander Ray appeared beside her with a heavy weapon mounted on his shoulder, one of Tom's prototypes. With a deep hum, the cannon fired, and a hunter drone melted in midair. No mercy. Ray shouted, "Push them back." Meanwhile, in the lab, Tom and Lisa stared at the monitor. Roth was fully charged. "They are breaking into the second level," Lisa warned. "We won't last much longer." Tom nodded. He grabbed the portable Echo unit, the smaller, personal version of Roth, and ran toward the exit. "Where are you going?" she called after him. "To the breach," he answered. "Roth needs time to fire again. Until then, I have to stop them." The final push. The alien drones reached the inner hall. Only one door stood between them and the power core. Kara, bleeding from a cut across her shoulder, turned to see the blast door begin to glow from heat. "They are melting through," someone shouted. Tom arrived just then, sliding to a stop beside her. He held up the Echo device, eyes locked on the door. "When I open that door," he said, "stay behind me." Kara looked at him. "Are you crazy?" "Yes," he answered. "But it might work." The metal door exploded inward, revealing 4 hunter drones ready to charge. Tom stepped forward and triggered the Echo. The world went silent, the air rippled. The ground warped, and the space in front of Tom bent as if reality itself was folding. The drones froze mid-motion, then shattered like glass. Their pieces hovered for a second before dropping to the ground with a dull clatter, the hallway filled with silence and smoke. Everyone stared at the damage. "You're full of surprises," Kara said. "We are just getting started," Tom replied. Breathing hard, above the base in the sky, one of the remaining alien command ships began moving. The destruction of its drones had triggered something, a response far larger than before. Back inside, Roth finished charging. Ray stood at the firing station. He aimed toward the sky and locked onto the ship's shadow overhead. "Let's give them a reply," he muttered. He pressed the fire button. A beam erupted from the mountain's side, tearing through clouds and smashing into the alien command vessel. The ship didn't explode, it disappeared, swallowed in a ripple of light and heat. Lisa stared at the screen. "Confirmed hit." Ray smiled for the first time in days. "Tell them Earth is done hiding." Asterisk. Earth breaks the silence. The mountain rumbled for nearly 10 minutes after Roth fired. Chunks of snow and rock tumbled down the slopes. Trees far below swayed from the shockwave. Birds took flight in panic, but none flew near the sky's tear. Where the alien ship had vanished. It was the first time an alien command vessel had been destroyed since the invasion began. Inside the base, silence gave way to cheers. Dozens of survivors, soldiers, scientists, and engineers all stood stunned, some crying, others shouting. They hadn't just survived another attack. They had delivered a message. Humanity was no longer just defending. It was fighting back. Tom slumped into a chair beside the control panel, exhausted. His hands were shaking, covered in dust and streaks of dried blood. Kara knelt beside him, offering a water bottle. "You all right?" He drank without answering at first. Then he looked at her. "We just turned their weapon against them," he said. "They are not going to ignore that." "They'll come harder," she replied. He nodded. "Oh no. That's why we need to be ready." Far orbit alien High Council ship above the chaos, in deep space where light bent differently and gravity hummed unnaturally, the alien High Command received the data stream from Earth. A command vessel lost, energy readings unstable. Source, hybridized human alien tech. Origin, subterranean human stronghold. For the first time, the alien council hesitated. These humans were supposed to break quickly. Their cities had been glassed, their communications severed. Their skies were no longer theirs, yet now, from ruin, they were building weapons. One voice from the council sent a pulse, too dangerous to be left alive. Another pulsed, unpredictable. They adapt too fast. The answer was clear, total surface cleansing authorized. Planet-wide strike incoming. Back on Earth, Ray stood before the central console, eyes scanning new signals. "They are preparing something big," he said. "Every satellite still working shows movement from their other ships. They are not sending drones this time. They are preparing to burn everything." "How long do we have?" Lisa asked. 3 days, Tom said. "Maybe less." Ray looked at his people, dusty, tired, scared. But none of them backed away. "We've got one chance," Tom said. "Roth is too slow to fire twice in a row. But the Echo units, they are portable. If we build enough, we can take the fight to them." Lisa frowned. "You want to attack?" "Yes," Tom said. "Before they glass the whole planet. We take a team, go to one of their anchor ships, and destroy it from inside." Mission planning room. Kara laid out a map across the table. "This one here," she pointed. "Landed 2 weeks ago. It's massive. Feeding energy to the others." Ray nodded. "We destroy it, we cut off half their strike capability." "But it's in the open," Lisa said. "No cover." Tom spoke up. "We won't need cover. Not if we wear what we've built." He pulled the top off a crate. Inside were suits, black armor reinforced with alien alloy, glowing softly from within. "Exoframes," he said. "Lightweight, fast, strong. They'll help us get close. And each one holds a small echo core." Kara raised an eyebrow. "How many do we have?" 5, he said. "Enough for a strike team." She grinned. "Then let's give them a reason to fear Earth." 3 hours later, launch point A storm raged above as the strike team gathered inside a dropship, engines humming low. Tom, Kara, and 3 others climbed in, armored and ready. Lisa handed Tom a small drive. "This has all the weapon blueprints. If you don't make it, I'll make it," he said. But if I don't, make more. Keep building. Ray stood near the bay door. Bring that tower down. No half measures. Tom nodded. We'll bring back a piece of it as proof. The hatch closed. The dropship rose into the storm. For the first time since the invasion, humans were flying toward the enemy, not running from them. Into the heart of the beast, the dropship cut through the clouds like a ghost, shielded by layers of electromagnetic interference and Earth's still burning sky. Below, the alien anchor ship stood like a black fortress. It was 3 kilometers tall, surrounded by towers, pulsing with dark energy that reached into orbit. Tom stood at the front of the team, staring through the small window as the ship descended. It looks alive, whispered one of the soldiers. It probably is, Kara replied, checking her plasma blades. They were 5 in total. Each wore an echo-powered exoframe, black, smooth, and glowing faint blue at the joints. They were fast, strong, dangerous, but still human. The dropship landed a few kilometers from the base of the alien structure. They moved silently through ash and broken ground, guided by Kara's recon scans. The landscape looked dead. No animals. No wind. Just heat and the hum of something unnatural growing below. Inside the alien ship, the team slipped through a broken access tunnel left by a crashed drone weeks ago. The walls were not metal, they were something stranger. Smooth like glass, but pulsing with warmth. The deeper they went, the less it felt like a ship and more like an organ. Lisa's voice crackled over their comms from the mountain base. You're nearly at the energy source. If you plant the echo charge inside it, the chain reaction should wipe out everything connected to it. How big of a boom are we talking? Asked one soldier. Tom answered, big enough that if we're still inside, we won't be talking anymore. Kara grinned. Then let's be fast. They found the core. It wasn't a reactor. Not in the traditional sense. It was a sphere the size of a truck, suspended midair by beams of light. It rotated slowly, and as it turned, alien symbols glowed across the walls. Tom stepped forward carefully, examining it. This is it. Their main link node. Destroy this, and the entire anchor collapses. He placed the echo charge on the floor. Below the sphere. The charge blinked once, twice, then held steady. Charge planted, he said. Just as he turned to leave, the sphere stopped spinning. Lights across the chamber shifted red. A rumble shook the floor. We've been detected, Kara said. The alien response. They came fast, 7 of them, different from the usual hunter drones. These were elite guards, taller, smoother, and armed with living blades. Tom yelled, defensive pattern now. The humans formed a circle around the charge point. One alien lunged at Kara, but she rolled aside and sliced upward with her plasma blade, carving deep into its midsection. It didn't fall. It shrieked and spun toward her again, faster than expected. A second alien grabbed one of the soldiers and threw him against the wall. His armor sparked, and he didn't move again. Tom activated the echo surge in his chest plate. A pulse rippled outward, slowing the aliens just long enough. Kara didn't waste the chance. She stabbed one through the throat, but there were still 5 more. Countdown. The charge began its final sequence. 90 seconds. Fall back. Tom shouted. Get to the exit now. The remaining humans fought their way toward the tunnel. Kara covered the rear, swinging her blade with deadly focus. One alien reached Tom just before the door. He didn't think. He raised the second echo core, the prototype, and triggered it point blank. The air around the alien folded in, and it disappeared in an instant. Tom staggered back, bleeding from the nose. That took too much. The escape. The team, now just 3, ran down the tunnel as alarms wailed and walls cracked. 30 seconds. Lisa shouted in their ears. Run faster. Kara grabbed Tom's arm, throwing his weight over her shoulder. They burst through the surface just as the earth beneath them lifted. A wave of blue and black energy ripped upward into the sky, vaporizing the alien anchor ship and the towers around it. The explosion could be seen from hundreds of kilometers away. It looked like the earth had reached up and punched the heavens. Back at the mountain, Lisa's screen showed a new image. The alien energy network was collapsing across the continent. Ray stood with arms crossed. We just hit them where it hurts. He turned to the others. Prepare the message. Send it to every channel they can hear. The message, a clear voice, full of quiet rage, went out into space. This is Earth. You brought chaos. We forged it into your end. If you come again, bring More than destruction. Because we'll turn that into a weapon too. Asterisk. The weapon that changed everything. Smoke still rose from the crater where the alien anchor ship once stood. 3 survivors emerged from the ash, Tom, Kara, and the last soldier, limping but alive. Their exoframes sparked and hissed. Their helmets were cracked. But they had done the impossible. Behind them, nothing of the alien structure remained, just scorched ground and silence. Tom dropped to his knees. He looked up at the sky, now clearer than it had been in weeks. The strange red glow that once pulsed overhead had faded. Stars blinked through the cloud cover. Kara knelt beside him, placing a hand on his shoulder. "We did it," she whispered back. At the mountain base, Lisa stood at the comms console. Messages flooded in from other hidden bases around the world, outposts that had gone silent weeks ago. Now they were alive again. They'd seen the blast. Some reported drones shutting down. Others said alien towers were collapsing on their OW, and .it was like a signal had been cut across the entire invasion grid. Commander Ray walked into the control room, tired but standing tall. "Any word from the ship in orbit?" Lisa shook her head. "No movement yet. But they are still watching." Ray nodded. "Then we send them a final message." In orbit, alien council ship. Inside the dark chambers of the alien command vessel, the High Council stood in silence. Streams of data painted a clear picture. Earth's core weapon had destroyed their central relay. Command networks were cut. Planet-wide synchronization was failing. Worse still, humans had built it from their own wreckage. The Council could no longer agree. Signals of uncertainty, disagreement, and fear flickered between them. One sent out a thought the others couldn't. "Silence, we created this chaos, but they shaped it into power. They are no longer prey." Earth transmission room. Tom stood before a camera, bruised and exhausted. Behind him stood Kara and the other survivors. Their armor was torn, their bodies broken, but their will unshaken. Lisa began broadcasting across all alien frequencies. "This is a message to those who brought war to our world. You came in silence. You attacked without mercy. You thought we would break. Tom stepped forward. You gave us chaos. But we forged it into something stronger. We built weapons from your fear. Machines from your mistakes. And now, we've turned the tide." He stared into the lens. "If you stay, we'll finish what we started. If you flee, let this be your warning, Earth does not fall." A shift in the stars. Hours passed. Then, something no one expected happened. The alien fleet in orbit began to move away from Earth. Ships that once loomed like dark moons now turned their engines toward deep space. Their formations fell apart. Their signals weakened. One by one, they left. Humanity had not just survived. It had won, not by outmatching the aliens in power, but by outlasting them in spirit. By turning broken parts into weapons. By refusing to kneel, even when the sky fell. 1 month later, the skies were clearer. Earth was still wounded, but healing. Towers were torn down. Wreckage was recycled. Survivors rebuilt. In the mountain facility, new Roth cannons were being developed. Echo suits were being improved. Humanity wouldn't be caught off guard again. Kara now led the new planetary defense force. Tom returned to the lab, quiet, focused, and never satisfied. He was already working on something new. Something better. Next time, he said softly to himself, they won't even reach orbit. Asterisk.